Hello and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk. I'm your host for today's show, Coach Kevin Bull Jones. And today I have a guest that's come back to spend some time with us and talk some football. He's a veteran of 13 years of playing in National Football League, 8 years of those with the Atlanta Falcons. Also has been an All-Pro in his years playing in the National Football League. And not only that, but he's one of the top 3 receivers that the Atlanta Falcons have ever had, as far as, and the records don't lie. But the best part about that, he's a great friend of mine and former teammate, and I'm glad to have him back on the show. So if you like the show, come on in and share. Welcome back to the show, Terance T. Mathis. Welcome back.
Unmute, sir. Hey, Mr. Mathis, you got to press the unmute button real quick.
There you go. We're going to get him. We're going to get it right.
I was messing around trying to do something else. I was messing around trying to put my camera up and get everything right. And so if you guys don't read lips, I said, come on, let's go. Let's get this thing started.
Well, I figured from the way those hands were moving, you were saying something along the lines of that. The way those hands were moving. I mean, it wasn't like you were trying to catch a pass right about now, because I know you know better.
Man, it's been a long time since I've been on. Last time I was on, I had a full beard and everything else. So this is the new me, the young me. I'm going, I done shedded some pounds since last time we talked, and I'm just, I'm trying to get to my fighting weight, man.
Well, listen, you know that I understand exactly what you're talking about with that youthful look, because it's just some of us are just born with it, and we just blessed to have it. But when you're able to, yep, that's right. And then hey, listen, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I just recently stopped getting carded when I went places, which after a whole bunch of years on this earth, I figured I earned the right. But how you doing? Right. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm doing well, man. I've been keeping a low profile since this COVID thing, and whatsoever. And I've just been quiet, keeping to myself. It's not even just COVID, man. It's just what society has become over the last, 3-4 years. And, you sit back and look back, look from afar and see all the things that's happening in America itself, in our communities and in our cities. And then you look at what's happening in college football, high school football, NFL, all those things. And you can reflect, and then, there's so much you want to say, so much you want to talk about, so much you want to do. And, from my perspective is this, when God wants me to speak and when he wants me to move, I'll move, because then I know it's right. I don't want to do something out of the heat of the moment, or say something out of the heat of the moment that's not authentic, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like, it's funny you mentioned that, because it's just, watching the whole college football spectrum and getting a chance to watch college football this past weekend, watching Jackson State play. And, there are those that watch the phenomenon that Deion Sanders is putting together, and people go, well, it's going to work for a little while. And then there are others that say, hey, listen, look at the attention that it brings to the university. But you know what I think about, T? I think about, in situations like this, I watch the looks on those kids' faces that play for him. I look at the energy that they have and the enjoyment they have. They didn't get a chance to play in the fall. And, down in Mississippi, every community has their ups and downs and things they have to go through, and trying to get today's youth to be on a better path of positivity. That's what I get out of watching Prime coach down there. The X's and O's of what they are. But ironically enough, a couple of those coaches on the staff are former high school coaches. That's a hint. I want to throw it later. High school coach getting a chance to, and kudos to Prime for giving some high school coaches a chance to be collegiate coaches. But tell me what your thoughts are on him coming in, and just, it looks like he's just rejuvenating some kids, their spirits. And along the lines of what you just finished talking about
Well,
possible.
we'll start with Dion and what he's doing in Jackson State. I think is phenomenal. I think it's really phenomenal. Like you said, you're looking in these kids' face and they're enjoying where they're being and they're having fun, they're having excitement. Some of them has desires and aspirations to play in the NFL and others do not. And they know this may be the last time for them to wear a uniform. You can't just go out, call a few guys and play pickup football like you can do basketball. So I think Dion is allowing them to ride his coattail of how he has become very marketable. Not only a great football player, but he's a great market guy. He knows how to market himself, a program, and other people, and he's done an excellent job with that. Now, when you have a staff that he put together that has played on every level and played high, in the ultimate level, it gives your program credibility. It gives your program, I tell you what, it gives it trust.
Wow.
Because now it's saying, okay, he's been there, he's done that, he's one of the top 100 players ever play in the league. I'm gonna listen to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the other HBCU coaches are not great coaches whatsoever, but listen, man, this is a new energy. It's
Right.
new
Right.
energy, and it's off. I hate, this is not a bad thing. This is a really good thing because it's starting to open eyes.
Right.
It's off the back of everything that we have endured over the last 10 to 12 months with Black Lives Matter. Because if we can't take care of our own, if we can't trust our own, who can we trust? Because as you see, we can't trust others. We can't trust others. So, it's not, like you said earlier, you said, oh, it's going to fade out. It's going to fade out. No, it's not, because I'm going to be the next HBCU head coach somewhere. So it's going to continue, and it's going to be a trend. But the great thing about the trend is we're not going to get away from the HBCU roots. We're not trying to take people's jobs or kick them out. We still want that foundation of the HBCUs, but we want to build those pillars strong and so they can last. And that's what we want to do. That's what I want to do. And I'm sure that's what Prime is doing. But, I truly think that I've said this years ago, probably about 3-4 years ago. I was sitting with Bob Whitfield, a former teammate of mine, and we was talking about getting to HBCUs. And this is what I told him. I said, for us to get 3, 4, 5-star athletes, we're missing 2 things in HBCUs: exposure and facilities. If we had those 2 things at a high level, you would see an influx of these kids coming to HBCUs. Now what starts to happen is, all this money starts to generate. All these corporations want to get involved, because guess what happens is now these guys get drafted, they go to the NFL, become Pro Bowlers, being all pros, going to Super Bowls, being MVPs, coming back to their schools, giving back to their schools. Now they become marketable, and this is where everyone wants to be. Right. So now everybody wants to be where I can be marketable, and I know I have a chance to play at the highest level. And the thing is that when the money starts coming in, now you're going to start to see some of these smaller tier HBCUs get here. And now it's going to be, you talk about the FBS Power 5.
Right.
It will happen. I won't say it's going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time, but you're going to see conferences of HBCUs click up. That's going to be sort of like the Power 3, Power 4, Power 5, where now you know that these kids are going, they're doing their thing, and they're making a difference. Man, I'm so excited about HBCUs right now, man. I've been there for 2 years. I coached at Savannah State for 2 years. I know of the potential, and I know the stigma it gets. But it's some great people came out of HBCUs now. Great football players, great athletes, great
Yep.
politicians, our vice president. So
Right.
it's starting to look, people starting to look. If she can do that, if she can go there, I can do it too and make it. And that's what society, media, they don't, when you're great, they don't say, well, he went to Howard or she went to Howard or he went to FAMU, or they don't say that. They just say, oh, he's great and she's great. And they don't want to talk about that, which is a society problem than anything else.
Well, I agree with you totally, and it shed some light for me watching the play. I watch the coaches, the opponents of Coach Sanders' prime, and I watch their way of identifying with him coming into the SWAC conference and collegiate football, and everybody has their own visions and explanations. I mean, Paul Feinbaum keeps saying this is just a stepping stone for him to go somewhere else. But here's the thing, and it goes along with what you're saying. I want to see that goodness and some things that happen good for people. I'm one of those people that I believe there's enough to go around. Right. North Carolina A&T is now is left the MEAC.
Yes.
Hampton University is left to MEAC.
Yes.
And Norfolk State, my alma mater, we haven't left the MEAC, but there's still opportunity of growth and a great area of expansion. And you look at North Carolina Central, they've always been dominant in basketball. Yep. And by the way, Norfolk State, we just made it to the NCAA Big Dance, so we had to get back on the ride. But shout out to my alma mater. But I watch the positivity in the minds, the creative minds. See, I tell people all the time that we had a generation that just the identifying coming out of civil rights and how it played as far as sports and athletics. Athletics is the main thing that brings all races and people of different colors together. For one Sunday afternoon, one Saturday afternoon, everybody's fine, everybody's friends. And then they go back to their place after the game's over with. But when football can become, and just talking about football, can become that unilateral things that make people look and say, you know what, I enjoy that football. I have friends that all of them are saying the same things about how they've enjoyed watching the games. But there's always been very good football played at HBCUs and definitely in the SWAC conference. You just, like you said, you never got a chance to see it. So I would think those additional coaches would say, his opponents would say, I'm glad Prime is here because he's giving us exposure, and maybe more money will come to us because the notoriety. See, that's my thinking.
Exactly. I was going to say that. You can't get upset because guess what? In the next 2-3 years, your salary is going to go up because the university is going to make more money. So you got to look at it that way. But what it has done is it's stopped complacency in coaching in HBCUs. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody was like that, and I'm not down in the coaching staffs at the HBCUs right now. But when you look across the sideline and you see a man energetic, got his team playing at a high level, you want to compete. So you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I doing enough to make my program better? You know what I'm saying? Because here's a guy comes in first year, 3-0. He got some players out of the transfer portal, and he got some 4 or 5 stars that he recruited, which were not there yet.
Yeah, they're not playing yet.
They're not playing yet. So it's the guys that have been there. So that goes to tell you something. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent at all these schools, and it's just got to be pulled out of them. And the thing is that for us as Black coaches, if we can't coach in the NCAA FBS or FCS, and if we can't get jobs in HBCUs, what do we do? Where do we go? I know, hey, you can't be, why discriminate against me because I didn't go to a HBCU and I played in the NFL for a long time. You discriminate against your own people. That makes no sense. You should, and I'm not saying they're doing that, but what I'm just saying is, you hear that rumbling. I was at Savannah State for 2 years, and you hear it. You hear it. who he think he is coming in here, blah, blah. Hey, man, I'm trying to be a better man, and I'm trying to get these kids ready for life, give them life skills. Hey, and if wins come by that, so be it. But I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing. I hope.
Right.
Is create kings. That's what I hope you're trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. It didn't help that you had to play, was it Oklahoma State and some of the other
Florida State.
Yeah. I mean, and so much for a check, right? I mean,
it wasn't even worth it. The check wasn't even worth it because we didn't get paid a whole lot. Because people don't understand when you hear, oh, that's a money game, they're going to get X amount of dollars. No, the football program don't get X amount of dollars. Okay. It goes straight to the university. The university takes their piece. Then it goes to athletics. The athletic director takes his piece, and then it trickles down to football. So those 53, 55, 58, 60 kids out there getting their heads beat in by Power 5 schools and don't get any money for it.
Right.
So the program doesn't. People think, oh, program should be growing. Y'all collecting all this money. No, sir. No, ma'am. If we paying somebody for $1 million, we ain't getting $1 million.
No way.
Because people don't understand the deal. Sometimes this happens. It's fine if somebody says, hey, we'll give you $750 to play us. We'll take care of your transportation, your hotels, and your meals.
Right.
Well, that's a great deal.
Okay.
We'll give you $750, but you got to take care of your airfare, your transportation, and your hotel stay and your meals. Oh, that's
wow.
That's going.
Wow. Already it's gone.
Already before you even play the game.
Before the AD gets his cut.
Before he gets his cut. So negotiations. I think you're going to see changes in negotiations in that part, because at the end of the day, in a few years, you're not going to have to play those Power 5 schools to get money, because the money going to start influxing, and then what's going to start happening is those Power 5 schools are going to want you on the schedule.
Yeah.
And that's what you want when they calling you and say, hey, look, can we get you on the schedule for the next 2 years? That's what you want.
Right.
Because they see all the you're getting all this publicity and all this attention, and it's everywhere. And now you're not on ESPN3 or ESPN2. You're on ESPN.
ESPN.
And now, what's going to happen, and this is the vision, is I guarantee you in 3 years, you're going to see an ABC game with the HBCU on prime time against one of the Power 5 schools.
Wow. Because
I truly think that a couple of these schools in HBCU are going to grow their program so well, they're going to be able to compete, and they're going to have fine showings. It would be the best thing that I want to see happen is this: whoever Jackson State has next year for one of those money games, that it comes down to a field goal either side, and Jackson State lose by a field goal, they still win.
Yeah, they still win it. They still win it. All the people watching the show, they still win it. Right.
It's a win, and it's a loss for that Power 5 school, because they're gonna say, "Oh Lord," and that's what you want. And then guess what? Those guys on that sideline going, "I might not play until my senior year, but if I get in the portal and go to Jackson State,
wow,
oh my God, I can play now and get some recognition and go to the combine and get drafted and make money for my family."
Well, definitely, I think that this whole the whole prime being in the SWAC, I think it was that bottle of light that we needed during the times, since the things you like you mentioned, just the times that we've gone through in the last 10 to 11 months. I mean, for me, the glass is always half full, and I'm always thinking, what can I do to help my fellow man? Just help these kids to get to our age. And and society's been rough. So, watching that whole transformation, I'm enjoying it. And it gives everybody, all of America, get a chance to see HBCU football unadulterated by itself. And I know they enjoy it as well because the ratings don't lie.
The
And if
ratings
it's
don't lie.
time being a part of it,
Yep.
then so be it. Because there's some other great coaches in the HBCU, great coaches. But you know, I'm definitely feeling one-sided towards what Prime has done because the fact that he has had some high school coaches, he gave them a shot to be collegiate coaches on his staff. And for me, such someone as myself that wants to be on that level, coaching on the collegiate level, I know that Gus Malzahn is not the only person that will bring high school coaches on his staff if he deems that they're competitive enough and thorough enough in what they do. So I'm a champion for that.
Right. I'm the same way. You gotta be diversified with your staff.
Right.
Everybody can't be the same. Everybody has to bring something to the table, a visual or an experience or whatever to the table to make the program better. If everybody was just all former NFL players, you know, how are you going to reach these kids? Because the last time you played was at the highest level. Right. And that's what you've seen. You see what I'm saying? So now you're thinking they're like this too, you know? So a good coach and a good leader will diversify his program with high school coaches who know what these kids went through high school because he was just there, and he can relate to them when they get there as freshmen. And then you will keep some other coaches that's been on the staff to help you navigate through the players and your roster the year before. And then you bring in a breath of fresh air of some new blood, some new vision whatsoever. And then you have great staff. You got great staff. Now don't get me wrong. Now I got my staff is already put together. You're ready to go. And I'm not gonna spill the beans that you on that staff. Oops, I just spilled the beans.
Most definitely. Hey, put it on the 20. Let's rock and roll. Let's get. I'd love to. Man coverage is me all day, and I love pressure plus pipes. So I can't wait to the chance to see how it works against some of the powers that be. Let's talk. I got queued up some great plays from you back in the day. You know, I had to bring a couple of different flavors this time.
Before you even show it, my back hurt already.
My producer, we got queued up some highlights of the first one up. We got you making this play. I remember you making some plays when we played together in high school, but I don't remember you doing this one here. This one.
Oh Lord.
You already know which one this is. This is the catch.
I did not realize until I watched the film what just happened. And I'm gonna talk you through this play because I know this is the exact play. I was coming in motion. We wanted to move the corner to make sure if he was man to man or not. I pushed him, and I pretended like I was going to the post, and I burst him, and I made him do a complete turn. Now, I knew I took a lot of time in that route. Here we go. Now I'm pushing him. Here comes the burst right there. That little burst right there. He thought I was going to stop or keep going to the post. Now, the reason why that ball was high is because I knew that route is about a 16-yard route.
You took it deeper?
And I took it deeper. Let's see. I took it kind of deep. Well, with the motion, it slows down the route because you're supposed to cut the route down 2 yards when you go in motion like that. Okay. And I took it to full depth. And when you do that, what you try to do is come downhill to make up for it. So when I turned the corner to come downhill, Chris threw it where I was supposed to be, and that's why it was high.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why when we played Southwest Cab, you didn't make this circuit stuff like this. You know, I'm kind of feeling certain.
I did my thing when I played quarterback now.
I don't know if people know you got a quarterback background, but I'm just telling you, I remember those cuts. I remember those. You know, but getting up that high with the vertical, man, I was like,
wait a minute. That's the NFC Championship game, man.
That's right. You know, that's all the
your juices are flowing. What's the next one?
We got another one. We got another video. I think you're making you got a touchdown. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is a playoff game or not, but you're making a touchdown catch against these guys all over you. And here's the thing that I was fascinated with. How, you didn't have fear about going across that middle. And that, that is, I don't care what anybody says. Most receivers don't want to go over the middle. I'm just going to tell you, they can tell you, oh, I'm about that life, coach. I'll do it. No, they don't want to go across. Most of them don't. But you got a few dogs that will. Here's your play. I mean, come on, man. Now, this is the deep route. This is the deep route. You outran somebody.
Oh, yeah. This was funny, man. The whole game, I didn't have a play called to me. I didn't have a ball thrown to me. So I'm on the sideline, and I'm furious. I am furious. So even Art Shell comes up to me. Art Shell comes up to me and says, go to the head man and tell him that you haven't. I said, no, coach, it's fine. So Cornelius Bennett came up to me and said, hey, man, you're going to catch the ball and win the game. I said, man, I don't want to hear that. So we're in the fourth quarter, and it's, 2 minutes or so left in the game, and we needed a first down to keep the clock going. And it's like 3rd and 10. So we call a timeout, and Chris comes to the huddle, and he calls the play, and he looks at me and says, I'm coming to you no matter what. Right. I said, okay. So I line up, and I'm sitting out there, and I get bump and run. And Chris looks over at me to make sure I got this, hey, it's bump and run. And I'm looking, and I look back at him, and it looks like he's staring at me. And I'm like going, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. So the play was called. Guy tripped off my foot, caught it. And that was my only catch of the game.
Boy, I tell you what, and that was the win against as it was the 49ers.
49ers. It was regular season game. It was regular season game. It was the second time we played them in the regular season.
Yep. I have another one here. This is one where you catching it. You had a catch going across the middle, and like I was saying before, before the video popped up. The whole well, he said he can't see that. We can't find that one right now, but it was a catch that you made going across the middle.
Who was it?
You literally caught it in the end zone, but there was a linebacker all over your back. So it looked like you fell back into the field, but it was really a touchdown because of your forward progress.
Yeah.
There was a linebacker all over you.
Yeah. I know when you talking about. That was against Minnesota. It was against Minnesota in the NFC Championship.
I want to say number 54. Number 54.
NFC Championship game.
Yeah. Was that the NFC?
Man, I made my money between the numbers, bro. I wouldn't. That's one thing coaches liked about me. I wasn't afraid to go across the middle. Right. And how that happened, how that evolved was I was a freshman in college, and I caught a ball across the middle against Hawaii and almost got tapped. Just ball went, the helmet went one way, mouthpiece went another way. I'm clutching the ball, I go the other way with my eyes closed, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, oh Lord, please, I don't want to open my eyes and see you. So the trainers came out and said, are you okay? Are you okay? I said, yes. Well, open your eyes. I said, no. Give me a minute.
Right.
So I opened my eyes, walked. They took me off the field, standing ovation. I had a busted lip, and that was it. We get the ball back on the next series. I'm strapped up and back in the game. And from there on, I said, if that didn't kill me, nothing will.
Got that right. Well, here's the thing that I know from the defensive standpoint. It's harder to hit smaller receivers because you don't have much to work with.
Right.
See, when you're not dealing with 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", you don't have a whole. Matter of fact, from a defensive standpoint, you get hurt tackling somebody's under 5'11".
Yeah, because you got to get down.
Because you got to get down because they got the wiggle. Y'all got the wiggle. Mm-hmm. And see, the wiggle hurts when you miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's real. And matter of fact, you can hurt somebody on your own team trying to tackle somebody your side. So you frustrate defenses when you come through that middle because there's not a whole lot of you to tackle.
Well, most of it is that, but a lot of it is preparation. Kevin, when I watch film of that, those linebackers, that back end of everything, the safeties, corners, everything, because I know the game plan, what we're going through, so I know the routes that I'm gonna run in the game. So I'm watching 2, 3, 4 games back to see how they play these routes, where they are in the zone, where they are in man, how quick they react to the ball. Is the safety gonna try to run through me, or is he gonna gather and try to tackle me? All these things that I know before we even kick the ball off. So when I'm going across the middle and catch the ball, I know at some point who is he coming and how fast is he coming. So you better be prepared. So when you know a guy that's gonna come downhill and put that helmet on you, when you catch the ball, all you do is gather yourself, to take the punishment. And then boom, usually he'll attack you, sometimes he'll bounce off. And then is that guy that is gonna come downhill and gather his feet. That's when you catch it and just go. You don't even wait, you just go, stiff arm and go. He ain't gonna make a play. And then you got linebackers who turn well and they come and they try to that's the ones you try to get away from right away. When you catch that ball on top of the linebacker standing still, dude, you better get them hips turned and get out the way in a hurry.
Because those are dudes, those are cyclopses. Those guys,
they're not stopping. They're running through you. They're not gonna get there, gather their feet and wrap up. They're trying to put their helmets through your ear hole. And you gotta be, oh man, boy. Whew.
Hey, you having a flashback, huh?
I'm sweating over here, Doc.
That's great stuff.
I'm sweating over here talking about it.
I love it, man. I love it, brother. Hey, last question. I can't leave this segment with you. And by the way, I want you to come back again. We're gonna stop waiting so long. We're gonna do something monthly where you just come in and we just chop it up. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
And you've done all kind of stuff. I watch your other shows on TV with talking about the Falcons. Just me and you talking. I mean, nobody else is listening, right?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah.
Right. What do you think they're gonna do with their pick? What do you not what you would like for them to do, but what I'm gonna give it to you like this. I want Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And if I can't have Justin Fields, mm-hmm. I want Patrick Surtain. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that's just Kev talking. That's me talking. But now, what do you think they are going to do, mm-hmm. opposed to what you think should happen?
I think they're coming out of that fourth pick. I think they're going to shop that fourth pick. Let me tell you why. Because of the cap. They don't have any money. And the thing is, if Matt Ryan and Julio Jones restructure their contracts, they might have some money. But I don't see them doing that, because let me tell you what happens when you restructure a deal and you want to go get a quarterback. Now you're restructuring Matt Ryan for another 3 to 4 years with big money. You got a quarterback that's going to sit on the bench for 3 or 4 years. You see what I'm saying? So, everybody says, well, Aaron Rodgers did it, blah, 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 blah. But no. Let me tell you something right now. Mm. And the reason Aaron Rodgers did it is because the Green Bay Packers had Brett Favre, who was on that team, was a championship caliber team.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Right now, the Falcons are pieces away from being a championship quality team. And drafting the quarterback at number 4 would hurt them, because they need an edge rusher, they need a running back, they need safeties. They need 2 safeties because they don't have it. Right. Keanu went free agency, they let the other 2 go, and then you don't have a running back. So and then you're going to have to find a guard or a tackle. Now, do you do it in free agency? They've been quiet today. They haven't done anything in free agency. They don't have any money to wiggle around. So the thing is that then you say, well, in the 4th pick, let's get an edge rusher. No. That's a lot of money. Now, what you can do, either you drop down to the bottom of the draft or get out of the draft, get out of the first round of the draft, and pick up some more picks and save money, and then go get an edge rusher right there. Where it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money. Understand this. Would you rather have 3 or 4 quality players picked that's going to help your team in the immediate, or pick one guy to hold your hopes on?
I mean, I understand. I understand. And that's why I wanted to pose the question to you.
Well,
that makes a lot of sense.
But before you finish, you said you want Justin Fields, and I get it. He would be a great fit here. For the fans, plus his ability whatsoever, he'll be a great fit here. But how long, if you bring Justin Fields here, He starts in the middle of the season. He has an okay year. Now, how many years you give him until you say, you know, because picking a Justin Fields mean you want him to play now and you want the Falcons to win now.
Or they do what they did with Patrick Mahomes. Maybe he doesn't play that first year.
Right. Right.
And then he plays the latter part of the season.
Right.
Especially if you're not going to the playoffs, which I hope the Falcons are not in that.
Exactly.
Because there's going to have to be life after Matt Ryan at some point in time.
Yeah. And everybody says, why not now? And I get it. But guess what? Every year there's a dude in the draft at the quarterback position. Right. You know, every year. So, you know, right now this is a good year. It's hard, man. It's a hard choice. But, you know, me, if I was playing GM, I'm going to get me some more 3rd and 4th round picks. Let me tell you why. It's because these dudes thought they should have been in the 1st and 2nd round. Right. They playing with a chip on their shoulders. It ain't gonna cost. It's not gonna cost me a lot of money to secure their contract. Now they're mad because they're looking at dudes in front of them that got more money than them. I'm going to get that money. Right. First of all, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm a 1st round draft pick, and then secondly, I'm gonna prove to you that I should be paid like that. And they're gonna play their tails off for you for the next 4 or 5 years, and then you redo their deals and you keep it going. That's the ticket, man. That's how you do it. That's how you gotta do it. Because that guy you meet with, you know how the scouts meet with whatsoever. Right. You ask him, says, hey, do you think here's the top 5 guys at your position, and you're not one of them. What do you think about that? He'll say, I'm pissed off. Right. And given a chance, I'm gonna prove to people that I'm one of the top 5 receivers to come out in the draft. That's all I want to hear. That's the guy I want. That's the guy I want, dude. That's the guy I want. At any position, that's the guy I want.
That sounds like a Terance Mathis clone between the ears saying, I'm about to do all of y'all. Well, I'm not 6'4", I'm not 6'5", I'm not 6'3", heck, I'm not 6'1". But when you look up and see me, I'm going to put up the numbers of all those guys do it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, I'm talking from experience.
No doubt.
I'm talking from experience. And the thing is, and like you said, you're going to look up and see me winning. Look, I'm still got a chip on my shoulders from 1990 draft.
Wow.
I still got stuff to prove, you know. At the end of the day, I still got things to prove, you know. Look, being a head coach, I've been a head coach, you know, high school level and whatsoever. And you know, I've been an offensive coordinator at the collegiate level. I want to be a head coach at the collegiate level. And I'm gonna say this with everybody listening, with you listening whatsoever. Going to an HBCU is not going to be a stepping stone for me. When I decide to move on, I'm moving on to retirement. I don't want to do it. I don't want to coach in the NFL. I don't want to do big schools where the presidents and the boosters pretty much runs your program and whatsoever. Yeah, there's a lot of money out there. It ain't all. Sometimes money don't bring you happiness. It bring you things that make you happy, but it doesn't bring happiness. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I live well. I guess, you know, I just want to be somewhere where I can control the narrative, and spin it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? That's all. And I want to grow from it, and I want the young men to thrive in it.
Well, T, I definitely know, you know, how much those things you just mentioned mean to you. I know how much they mean to me because I know where your heart is about helping young men become grown men and chartering the path of helping people be successful. So I truly believe that, and I know that it's going to happen. You're not if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I enjoy hearing, and that's why I wanted you back on the show to spread some love about some things, some positive things. It's positive stuff that's going on right now in football because we need it. And at the end of the day, you know, if Arthur Blank don't come get us, and
Yeah.
grab us, and we just gonna enjoy what we do where we are in the
Mhm.
state we in.
Yeah, I've tried for years, and the NFL has shut the door on me. Well, they never opened the door. They never answered the door for me. So I can't, I can't anymore.
Right.
Right now it's like, hey man, you do you, I'm gonna do me. Let me finish with this, Kev.
Gotcha.
Here's a scenario. ESPN game next season, Jackson State and Alabama State, pitting together Hall of Famer Deion Sanders and All-Pro Terance Mathis. Both has played against each other in the NFL, and now they're on the sidelines coaching against each other. Is that not made for ESPN? Is that
Well, I
not
tell
made
you
for
what.
ESPN? I'm gonna show you something funny. I'm gonna show your viewers something funny. I don't know if you ever looked at this picture behind me. You see it?
Yep.
Let me move this way.
That looks like. Is that Prime?
Yep. And look who's catching the ball right there. That's me.
Oh man, that's good stuff, man.
Angelo, that's awesome.
That's good stuff, right? Uh-huh.
On that note, man, man, you got me. You floored me, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man. We're gonna do this again next month. We're gonna rap and drop some knowledge and have some fun. And I want to thank you again, brother.
Kevin, I'm gonna always be me, man. You ask me the question, I'm gonna answer you. I'm not gonna. It's no politically correct. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Straight, no chase. I love it.
Hey, man, I thank you, man. You're a blessing to do this. It's needed. We it's getting more popular, and then you see more Black faces doing this, and this is good, man. This is good for us. This gives us an outlet to be us and to express ourselves.
Well, I'll definitely tell you this much. I'm with a special group that I work with. These guys, Jeremiah and Vincent and Bobby, and I'm with a special group. And thank you so much,
man,
for coming on. We're gonna get back on, and we're gonna do it again next month, and we're gonna drop some more knowledge and see if we can just brighten somebody else's horizon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. If you like this show, thank you. Thank you for watching 100 Yards of Football. Thank you so much.